Hello, I'm Simon Hill. Welcome to another Game of Two Halves, the show that's had more rewrites in the last 24 hours than the Melbourne Derby, and the show that's lasted months longer than the Super League. You can almost call us a legacy programme. As ever, our thanks to you, our loyal viewers, for watching, and to our hosts at MPL TV. If you would prefer to spend your money on us rather than billionaire oligarchs, then please buy us a coffee at www.ago2h.com. What say you, Gary Neville?
I'm disgusted, absolutely disgusted.
Blimey, we only asked for a coffee. Yes, in the news this week, football fans woke up to the rather shocking news that billionaire club owners do not have their best interests at heart. As plans for the Super League were unveiled, protests began during Liverpool's visit to Ellen Road, with Leeds players wearing Earn It emblazoned shirts for their warm-up, and of course the now ubiquitous banner flying over the stadium. From A-League experience, we're sure no billionaire club owner would ever resort to such snarky, petty retorts. The collapse of the Super League was a confusing battle for fans, with FIFA and UEFA cast as the heroes for the first time in living memory. But the long-touted elite breakaway league was confirmed and then cancelled even faster than these iconic sudden U-turns. A little closer to home, Melbourne City barely had time to celebrate their 6th goal thrashing of local rivals Victory before they went one better with a 7-0 hammering of the not-so-big V, leaving their fans and Officeworks print centres delighted. In the post-match press conference, coach Grant Brebner was relieved of his duties after notching up a season-wrecking 11 losses from 16 matches. Fair play to Brebs for fronting the media, though, as he said goodbye to the job he once admitted he didn't want and wasn't ready for, but the presser felt rather like a polite version of this.
Him suggesting that we want to work together is an absolute disgrace, and you'd be standing here. It is a disgrace.
But also as inevitable as this other dismissal.
Fairy tale journey for Northern Ireland that just keeps getting better and better, and surely that's a red card. Gotta be, has to be for...
I love how the commentator has no idea what the name of the player is. Let's introduce you to our two teams tonight. Representing the Bubsy Babes, Captain Melissa Barbieri, who grew up wanting to be a tennis star. She particularly idolised Gabriella Sabatini. And just like the Argentine, she has a powerful serve, particularly when it's directed towards Hayley Routley. Joining Bubs is Socceroos legend Gary Cole. Now, Gary was Ernie Merrick's director of football at Melbourne Victory when the A-League started. And Ernie can barely contain his emotions when he reminisces about the good times at Victory.
It was just brilliant.
Tell it like it is, Ernie. Representing the Jamo Tarts, Captain Scott Jamieson, despite Melbourne City having scored a whopping 38 goals this season, Jamo is still waiting for his first A-League goal in over 5 years. Still, his last one was an exercise in precision finishing.
And it'll come out here for David Carney, and the little flick by Alex Brosk has gone in, and it's 1-1. It might be an own goal. Sydney FC don't care one way or the other. 1-1.
Poor Jamo, we smash him every week. And alongside Jamo is Adelaide's favourite football journalist, Val Migliaccio. Val isn't just popular with the Reds fans, but of course Reds coaches as well.
Uh-oh. Oh, that bastard.
Good luck to all our teams. Let's get started then with this.
4-4-2.
Yes, welcome to 4-4-2, where we've got 4 pictures with one odd one out. We'll give points for both right and creative wrong answers. But if you don't get the right answer, we'll switch sides faster than a Bayern Munich attack, and the other team can have a crack at stealing the points. So let's get into it. So the Jamo Tarts, Scott and Val, you are stepping up first to the plate tonight. Here's our quartet. We have Jacob Italiano, Alu Kuhl, Christian Theoharis, and Kwame Yeboah, some of Australia's finest young guns. But who is the odd one out, Jamo Tarts, and why?
Well, I believe they have all the same agent in John Grimmaud.
That might be worth a point, actually, for just very, very good knowledge.
Wow. What can I say? I know things.
You know people, Scotty.
I know people. Val, you have any on the 4 players?
Only one I can think about is Italiano.
Say that again, Val. That was just beautifully pronounced.
Italiano, Jacopo Italiano.
Go on. Why is he the odd one out?
Because of his name.
Yeah. Okay. It's not the right answer.
This could be a long night. This could be a very long night.
Let's throw it over, shall we? So Gary and Melissa, have you got any ideas?
Melissa. Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, I almost called you Mel, and I know you don't like that.
Good.
So I had to quickly correct myself.
I'm thinking it's got something to do with being sent overseas and getting a contract overseas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're on the right lines. Alles gut junge players or Spielers. There's your clue. Qual is the right answer. Can you tell us why, Bubs?
No. Where did he go, Gary? What club did he just sign at?
He's just signed for VfB Stuttgart.
He has, Gary, but why does that make him different to the other 3? Goodness me, it's like extracting teeth.
German? Something about being German?
Yes, they are German, and yes, they play in the Bundesliga. But why is he the odd one out?
He's the only Australian left playing in the Bundesliga, or will be when he goes there next year.
No. Go on, Jamo. We'll give you last crack at this.
The other 3 boys are at have been at Mönchengladbach.
Hallelujah. We got there in the end. Yes, Alu Kuol is heading to Germany, just as the other 3 did, but the other 3 all went to Borussia Mönchengladbach, while Alu Kuol, of course, is signed for Stuttgart, as Coley rightly said. A chance for an early bonus point, though. How many points would Mönchengladbach be worth in a game of Scrabble without any bonus squares?
47.
47 says Bubs. Let's see who's going to be the closest. We might award the point to that team. Jamo Tarts, you have a go. Bubs' team has said 47.
Go on, Val.
61.
The answer is 31 points. So the point goes to the Bubsy Babes, which, of course, 31 points is more than even Alu's Central Coast Mariners have in the A-League so far this season, and the kind of points tally that Melbourne Victory fans can only dare dream about. Bubsy Babes, you're on deck for our next set of 4. What about this quartet? We've got Real Madrid, we've got PSG, we've got Manchester City and Chelsea. 4 Champions League semi-finalists, but which one stands out?
Paris Saint-Germain's the only one that didn't get an invite for the Super League.
You are spot on, Bobs. Our odd one out is Paris Saint-Germain. Of all the semi-finalists, they were the only ones to have the good sense to reject the Super League before the rest realised they had made a terrible, terrible mistake. Jamo, as a City Football Group skipper, were your loyalties torn a bit between the elites of the Super League and the traditional merit-based Champions League competitions? Let's see how diplomatic you can be here.
No comment.
Val, come on, you're the journo here. Probe him, push him.
How can you probe him? He just said in the comment.
Gary, over to you. Gary Cole, comparisons were inevitably made between the Super League and the A-League, minus the billion-dollar budgets, of course. As a founder employee of one of the A-League clubs, what did you make of it all?
The comparison, I think, is absolutely spot on. It just reminds us that we need a national second division.
Indeed, it does. Very well said, Gary. We don't need Super Leagues on a game of two halves because, of course, we have a super scorekeeper keeping our elite teams in check. Hayley Routley, good evening to you. Who's Alexander Seferin and who is Ed Woodward?
Oh, we've had a really tight first round. The Bubsy Babes just have the noses ahead. 3 points to the Jamo Tarts 2.
Thank you very much indeed, Hayley. It's a little bit early for Bubs to complain, and anyway, her team is in front. All of which brings us nicely to this. Yeah, our next round is Who Are Ya?, where we mash the faces of two newsmakers and our teams have to guess who they are and why they're in the headline. Let's go. Can you guess who these two are?
Bubs.
Yes, Bubs.
Gosh. This is Mackenzie Arnold and Maddie Ryan.
Very good. Very good.
Mackenzie Arnold played centre mid in the West Ham Cup game. And Maddie Ryan also came up and flicked on a header.
Indeed, he did. Goodness me. You could have almost read the script there, Bubs.
Well, they're keepers. It's my job to know exactly what keepers are doing.
It's good to know that you watch the keepers. Do you watch anybody else on a football field, or is it just the goalkeepers?
Actually, no. That's all my highlights.
But you watched a lot of Gabriella Sabatini when you were a kid.
Oh, mate, that one-handed backhand. Woo.
Can I make you very jealous, Bubs?
No, don't do it.
I once interviewed Gabriella Sabatini many, many years ago, and she's beautiful. Oh, I'm sure she still is too.
Oh, she's still beautiful.
Anyway, long time ago, before I had grey hair. It is indeed Matty Ryan and Mackenzie Arnold, Socceroos and Matildas goalkeepers plying their trades in England. They were both involved in outfield action on the weekend. On loan, Matty Ryan did the classic last-minute run into the box for a set-piece in search of a vital equaliser for Arsenal against Fulham, and his glancing header led to a goal which secured a precious point for the Gunners and a possible permanent move to the Emirates Stadium for him. Mackenzie Arnold, however, because of a shortage of bench players, had to fill in midfield when she was subbed on for West Ham when they were 8-0 up against Chichester and Chelsea Ladies in a Women's FA Cup clash in England that ended up 11-0 for the Hammers. You just can't beat a goalkeeper going upfield, can you? Oh, wait, actually, you can.
Jorbic and Liam Reddy's joining in. Where's he going? Ridiculous. He's off his line. Fitzgerald scores!
Ludicrous stuff. Next up, what about this? Who on earth is this? Shout out if you know.
Ooh.
Bubs.
Bubs, I think you got him first again.
That's Archie Thompson and...
Who's the other one?
Oh, Gary Cole, help me out. I feel like it's Jamie McLaren.
Is that what you're going with, Bubs?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jamie McLaren got 5, like Archie.
Yes.
Hey, you're on fire tonight, Bubsy Babes. Come on, Jamo Tarts. It is Jamie McLaren and Archie Thompson. Jamie McLaren scoring 5 in City's thrashing of Victory to match Archie's record haul, of course, against Adelaide in the 2007 Grand Final. Sorry, Val, for reminding you of that. For a bonus point, Archie did score 5 that day, but the final score, of course, was 6-0. Who scored the 6th?
Christian Sarkis.
Have you been revising this week?
No, I just know all this. See, this is where Jamo can stick it when he says only female questions.
That was a beautiful roll of the eyes from Jamo.
I'm sorry, I've been sitting here since 6 o'clock when we usually get on air, but we had to change because Bubs has to go to basketball. I'm sorry, I'm falling asleep. Past my bedtime.
To be fair, Bubs has been great at training all week.
I was there. I was massage therapist for Victory when that happened, so that's why I know.
Can I just tell you, whilst all this is going on, Jamo is actually eating his dinner. He's completely lost interest. It was indeed Christian Sarkis. I'd almost forgotten where we were, but you are correct, Bubs. Last one for the round. Come on, Val and Scotty, shout out for this one. Who are these two? They've been in the news a lot this week, but who are they?
Jamo.
Yes, go on, Jamo. I think you're just shouting out willy-nilly, but anyway, go for it.
Yeah, so the first one is obviously the second one is Florentino Perez, and the other one's Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, and why are they linked, Jamo?
Well, it's quite obvious, isn't it, Simon? The Mr. Perez is the leader of the Naughty 12, and Boris is just Boris, and quite frankly, he tried to stop the Naughty 12, but Boris couldn't do shit. So, I mean, Boris is just a loser. Let's be honest.
I reckon we're going to give you the points. You're not actually 100% spot on in the reasoning. It is Boris Johnson. It is Florentino Perez. But the answer we're looking for in terms of the link is that both are behind attempted exits from European control. Boris, of course, with Brexit, and Florentino with the UEFA busting Super League. Anyway, at the end of that round, which went on far longer than it should have done, Hayley, at the end of the first half of this game, who on earth is winning this referendum?
Well, I'm a bit scared to say the score because Jamo's starting to let fly a little bit. But Bubsy Babes ahead with 8 points versus the Jamo Tarts 4.
8-4 at the end of the first.
And we haven't even done the women's game yet, so Bubs will be well ahead soon because she gets her women's game questions in soon, so don't worry about that.
I'm the only female on the board here, so just...
Ollie Sale enjoyed himself last week, Bubs, if you could tell.
I didn't write the script.
You know, one day we're going to get all of you in the same studio together, and I reckon there's going to be fists flying at some point between you two. When you're on the training ground together, when you're on the training ground together at Melbourne City, is it just all love and hugs, or you like this every day?
No, you won't even look at me.
There for business, Simon, not for pleasure.
How's your dinner, Jamo? Good?
It's a chicken schnitzel. I'd offer you some, but you threw a TV screen, so I do apologise if it's rude.
Good to know you're paying attention, mate. Thanks to Hayley Routley for updating us on the scores. We'll be back in less time than it takes MacArthur fans to turn on their club. Well, now that big crowds are back for football, we need a big crowdfunding exercise to keep us going. The price of a single coffee will help keep us going until the end of the season. So pop over to www.ago2h.com and you can make a donation with the click of a button and keep the lols coming. Thanks.
Go on, have a feel.
Once a month.
After a hot shower.
While you were down there, get your balls out.
2 in the hand.
Are you aged between 15 and 45?
Get ultrasound advice. Are you aware?
I'm aware. Are you?
Delay is deadly. Get educated.
Yes, and we're back like Adelaide United's premiership chances. Next up, it is... Yeah, it's Omni Headlines, the segment that played Jamo into form prior to the Melbourne derby last weekend. 1 point to the team who can fill in the missing words, and some bonus points for those who can come up with an alternative as outrageous as the Super League. And we're off. Here's our first one. Football team forced to what after COVID outbreak?
Play with 7 players.
Coley, you are absolutely on the money. Did you know this?
Yeah, I can use the computer.
That is incredible. Gary Cole is absolutely spot on. Play with 7 players is the answer. Colombia's first division team, Aguias, was forced to hit the field with 7 players when they faced Boyacá Chico after the coronavirus hit the club. 16 players were out with COVID, 16, and a further 7 were injured. But the Colombian Football League insisted they still had 7, and under FIFA rules, that was enough. The game sadly ended after 80 minutes when Sydney turned out the lights. Another player got injured, leaving Aguias with just 6 and too few at last to see out the game. Despite all that, they still managed to keep the scoreline to a respectable 3-0 defeat. Meanwhile, in Melbourne, sorry Victory fans, our next headline, what has an Iranian TV network censored? It's your turn, Jamo Tarts.
This is why it's good to have a reporter on your team. Take it away, Val.
Censored ladies' legs.
You're spot on as well, Val. Goodness me, we got some smart cookies playing tonight. The answer is indeed footage of female referees' legs. Yes, the Iranian state TV network cut away from the Man United Spurs match more than 100 times due to assistant referee Sean Massey Ellis wearing shorts in the footage. The state-owned TV cut away to show views of London's back streets instead. In Australia, of course, we prefer to cut to back rooms rather than back streets. Oh, it never gets old, that, does it? Next, how have Swedish fans tried to create atmosphere despite a rule of 8. What could this be, Bubsy Babes?
What's a rule of 8, Gary?
They're all into their fish in Sweden, aren't they?
Ooh, you might be on the right lines, Coley.
Smelly fish.
I reckon that's good enough for the point. The answer is by shouting, "You smell like fish." Yeah, Sweden is only allowing 8 fans to attend top flight games, despite shopping centres being able to host many more. So the season opened last weekend with 8 AIK fans watching their 2-0 win over Degerfors in a 50,000 stadium. Despite the tiny support, players could still hear the lyrical masterpiece of "Everyone in Gothenburg Smells Like Fish" being sung. Makes you really appreciate just how lucky we are to hear "You Fat Bastard, You Fat Bastard" in such hearty numbers. Scotty, you played in Sweden. You played for Gothenburg. Did they used to sing that at you, that you stink of fish? You stink of schnitzel at the moment.
I think it was something along the lines of, wasn't "You Fat Bastard." I wasn't there like that time when I was a bit heavy, but no, it's a very good city, very good club, and they won on the weekend. So I don't think they remember who I am, but I wish them well.
I'm sure. Who wouldn't remember you, Scotty? Our final headline for the evening. Who or what has ended 3 careers? Jamo Tarts, this one is yours. Yes, go on, Jamo.
The Toure. I don't know. Mohamed Toure ended 3 careers with sublime skill.
Not Mohamed, Al Hassan.
Yes, I was going to say, I think Val has just about got you out of jail there. A-League stars filth is the line. This is, of course, in reference to Adelaide's Al Hassan Toure's latest dancing around defenders on the field during their win over Macarthur last week that has gone viral around the globe, and with good reason.
Hassan Toure. He got out of a phone box right there with about 10 around him. Al Hassan Toure.
Yeah, the series of graceful shimmies and filthy step-overs saw the Macarthur trio, including recent La Liga import Benyat Echevarria, left for dead. And our thoughts are with their families. Val, Adelaide are looking like genuine title contenders again this season, possibly against pre-season predictions. What's the mood like in your fair city at the moment?
The mood is very good. And it's actually surprised me that they're doing so well. But I think the reinforcements coming, and obviously Harvey Lopez, Wande, Josh Cavallo, Craig Goodwin have made the difference. Because I think if they stuck with the same boys, they'd be down the other end of the table.
And the big question, Val, I guess, is this. If Adelaide make a grand final, will there be a full-time employed football journalist in the city?
The way that it's going at the moment, even though we're trying very hard, no. And it's not because of the people operating the media. They want it, but it could be the other side. You can't pick and choose your journos, guys.
That's cryptic. I like it.
The people who know.
The people know. At the end of that round, Hayley Routley, who's also in South Australia, maybe she knows. Tell us who's skipping through the defence like Al Hassan Toure and who's tripping over their own feet.
Well, I feel like awarding bonus points to everyone for that round because it finally went off without a hitch. Only took to episode 15. But the Bubsy Babes are still ahead, 10 points to the Jamo Tarts 6.
In case you don't know, that's Hayley's round, and Jamo doesn't like it. It is not over yet, of course, because it is... Yep, it's squeaky bum time when we give the teams the chance to turn it all around and give Hayley a heart attack with our overly complicated scoring system. 10 quickfire questions, 1 point for a right answer, 1 point for an incorrect answer is deducted, 2 extra points for a team's hat-trick of right answers. Everybody got that? Here we go. Question 1. Which Sydney FC player was red-carded in the injury time of the game against Adelaide United on the weekend? That's a really poorly worded question. Yes, Val.
Ryan Grant.
Ryan Grant is the correct answer. A point to the Jamo Tarts. On to question 2. Who scored the only goal between Western United and Central Coast Mariners? Yes, Jamo.
Shit. Who was it?
No, it wasn't him.
Sounds like a Three Stooges joke.
I don't know.
Wait, so why did you shout your name out if you didn't know?
I'm gonna say it was Stephen Lustica.
You can say that, and you would be Incorrect. Let's throw it over to the Bubsy Babes. Any clues, Gary and Bubs?
What was the question again?
It was so long ago. Who scored the only goal between Western United and the Central Coast Mariners? The game played in Launceston in Tassie.
Oh, I know now.
Too late, Scotty. Stay quiet, please.
No, nothing.
Okay, in that case, we will throw it back over to the Jamo Tarts. Go on, Scotty.
Connor Payne.
You got there in the end. His name wasn't shit, it was Payne. Question 3, in the Women's FA Cup, we mentioned before that West Ham United women won 11-0 against Chichester and Chelsea ladies. How many goals did our very own Matilda Emily Van Egmond score? Oh, Jamo, you got in before Bubs.
He scored 4, Simon.
All right, that's it. He only knows that because he looks at my feed.
The women's question, and he got it right. There might be 1 or 2 more to come, though. Question 4. Despite a high-scoring affair in a lot of the other women's FA Cup games, Scott Jamieson, only one other Matilda scored in this round. Who was it? Yes, Bobs.
Sam Kerr.
I'm going to say Caitlin Ford.
You are incorrect as well. We're going to give the Bubsy Babes one last crack at it. Gary, Bobs? It was a belting free kick as well, I can tell you.
Alana Kennedy.
You got there in the end. It was Alana Kennedy for Tottenham Hotspur. Question 5. Which sport was Ziggy Gordon a national champion of when he was younger? Yes, Jamo.
Chess.
Chess. Can we call chess a sport? No, I guess we just did. Question 6. Mitch Langerak finally conceded a goal for Nagoya, ending his record streak in the J-League. How many consecutive clean sheets did he keep? Yes, Val?
8.
No. Throw it over to the Bubsy Babes. Are you on the Bubsy Babes team, Jamo?
No, I just know that they won't know it, so I'll get it.
Hope you're not Googling there, as well as eating your schnitzel. No clues, Bubsy Babes?
Oh, no, sorry.
9.
9 is correct. Val, you should have stayed quiet there. A point to the Jamo Tarts. Question 7. Borussia Dortmund's young star Jude Bellingham transferred from Birmingham City last year, and the Blues retired his shirt number in his honour. What was the jersey number? Go on.
17.
No, that's actually his age, which is ludicrous when you think that a shirt is retired for a 17-year-old, but it's not the answer we need. We'll throw it over to the Bubsy Babes.
No guessing, Gary, unless you know the answer.
She's playing tactical, the captain today. Jamo Tarts, we'll throw it back to you. You need the points. Do you want to have another go at it or risk losing another one?
Stuff it. Throw caution to the wind. 24.
Oh, and you were so close, but you've lost another point. The answer is 22. He is wearing the same number with Borussia Dortmund. On to question 8. If you removed the Super League 6 from the current Premier League table, who's currently winning that competition? Yes, go on, Jamo.
West Ham.
It's not West Ham. We will throw it over. Gary, I thought you would know this one. You're a Chelsea fan, aren't you?
I think I might, but we're in front with how many minutes to go? We don't want to concede here.
You're still competitive, even at your advanced old age, Mr. Cole, aren't you? I'm going to give it to the Jamo Tarts one last time.
Leicester.
Val, you got there in the end. A much-needed point. It is Leicester City. On to question 9. You might get this one as well, Val. Adelaide United designed a one-off special jersey featuring which Adelaide icon?
Bulls balls.
Oh, no, you can't do that, Val.
You didn't shout your name, Val. What was your answer anyway? Can you just tell me what your answer was?
Balls.
I think the point goes to the Bubsy Babes because, yeah, Melissa got it right. It is the Mall's balls. What on earth are they anyway?
Rundell Mall. They're just...
I know where it is, Bubs. I know where it is, but what's it supposed to represent?
Have you ever polished those balls, Jamo, when you played for Adelaide United?
No, I got no comeback for that. No, I didn't.
He didn't have enough polish for that. Question 10, our final question. Might be academic, but we'll go for it anyway. Leeds United made fun of Liverpool after their game this week by calling them their game name in Pro Evolution Soccer. What is that name in the video game? Yes, Jamo.
Merseyside Reds.
It is indeed the Merseyside Reds. Let's see if that point has made any difference. It is the final whistle for one last time tonight. Hayley, who's Daniel Levy and who's Jose Mourinho?
Oh, thanks to the Bubsy Babes absolutely parking the bus there. They've taken the win, 11 points to Jamo Tarts 8.
Well, Bubs, you're back in the winner's circle. Congratulations to you and, of course, to Gary Cole. Thanks to you both for playing. Jamo and Val, wow. Any message?
The chicken was nice. And look, I'd rather try and win a game 7-0 than try and win it 1-0 like Bubs. So I guess.
So I've pummeled 8 into the back of the net, and no problem, all good.
That's good. That's laid down the gauntlet for next week. Bob's accused of parking the boss in the final round. Wow. Just before we go, time for some breaking news from the world of football. In the wake of the decision to axe the World Game from SBS, legendary former pundit Tony Palumbo releases a T-shirt to express his thoughts. He's a disgrace. We love Tony. After pulling out of their bid to broadcast the UEFA Champions League, Sportsflick switched their focus to the big issues. And the short answer is no. An unremarkable city in the North Midlands of England receives an unexpected boost in tourism enquiries after the recent Super League shenanigans. And the real reason for the sacking of Jose Mourinho as Spurs manager is made public.
Well, it appears this proposal of a European Super League, which poses an existential threat to football as we know it, is going ahead.
Who are the founding clubs? Confirmation: AC Milan, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Real Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur have all joined as founding clubs. The statement says it is anticipated that a further 3 clubs will join ahead of the inaugural season, which is
And time for us to do the same. Good night, and don't forget to buy us a coffee. Cheers.